Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome back to our channel once again. Last month, Rigathi Gachagua was hosted by Oga Obinna on his show. And Rigathi Gachagua issued serious warning to IEBC and anybody who is planning to rig the 2027 presidential elections in the Republic of Kenya. And that warning by Rigathi Gachagua actually caused huge political storm in the Republic of Kenya. In fact, most Kenyans thought that Rigathi Gachagua was going to be arrested. But of course, he has not been arrested to date.
If that IBC tries to mess with the election, there will be no country here. 207 will look like a Christmas party. I can tell you. And I want to implore those commissioners to be Kenyans, to be patriotic, and not to attempt to force William Ruto on the people of Kenya. It will not work. The people of Kenya will not accept it. People want change, and they are ready for change. Indeed, they are impatient.
And today, I also came across another video by none other than George Natembeya. And George Natembeya also issued a similar warning to anybody who is planning to rig the 2027 presidential elections in the Republic of Kenya.
If somebody will mess with those elections and rig them, as Rick just said, and now they are falling because he just said the truth. Don't rig the election, because if you rig the election, it's going to be trouble. And indeed, there's going to be trouble. So let people express themselves freely. Let them say that haki has been done, that justice has been done, and that the winner has won fairly. Not because you have got the tools of government and you want to impose yourself on the people. There will be trouble.
You know, Mheshimiwa, former deputy president was used similar words about election being rigged, and he got into a little bit of problems. And you're actually saying that you're seconding his
I'm not saying I'm not using his exact words, because he said that when you rig election, what happened in 2007 will be like a Christmas party.
Yeah.
It was a little bit more graphic, because he knows what happened in 2007. People really died in 2007.
Yeah.
At that time, I was actually peer to Michuki, and I was able to see what was happening because I was up there. It was very bad. And we can talk about the Christmas party anyway, because it was very bad.
Yeah.
But I think all he was saying is, please, do not rig elections. Kenyans want to express their free will. Do not mess with that one. Because if you do, what options are you giving them? Yeah. If you cannot do that peacefully through the ballot, you've stopped us from doing that. What is the option? It's common sense. So even those who are just making noise, it was just a warning that don't steal elections. But they're focusing on the consequences of stealing the election. That people will fight. That's what he meant. So don't steal election, and will not have any other issues. People just go about their lives. But Kenya must change. We're on the wrong trajectory.
And because in politics nothing happens out of mere coincidence, and that everything in politics is normally well planned, well scripted, and executed to achieve a specific political objectives, in this video, I want us to figure out why George Natembeya also issued such kind of a warning.
I think all he was saying is, please, do not rig elections. Kenyans want to express their free will. Do not mess with that one. Because if you do, what options are you giving them? Yeah. If you cannot do that peacefully through the ballot, you've stopped us from doing that. What is the option? It's common sense. So even those who are just making noise, it was just a warning that don't steal elections. But they're focusing on the consequences of stealing the election. That people will fight. That's what he meant. So don't steal election, and will not have another.
But before you do that, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support. Because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to be very brief in this video. But first of all, I want us to be very brief in this video. But first of all, I want you to help me understand what Anne Waiguru, or who Anne Waiguru was referring to in this clip. Because I'm thinking of doing an analysis, but just help me understand what Waiguru is trying to say in this short clip.
Unajua kuna watu wanasema ati Waiguru sitamuongelesha sana, unajua anamaliza tamu. Ati akimaliza tamu wacha niongee na wengine ambao watanisaidia kuleta kura. Si nimeona wengine wakienda hivyo. Waambie watatukuta hapi? Watatukuta wapi? Hata hiyo uchaguzi hiyo ingine watatukuta hapa hapa Kirinyaga, na huku kuna ule anasema, ama vipi?
Ladies and gentlemen, why do you think George Natembeya, of all the people, made such kind of a statement? And what were the objectives he intended to achieve through those statements? For me, my interpretation are as follows. Number one, I think George Natembeya is likely to be on the side of Rigathi Gachagua, Kalonzo Musyoka, and Fred Matiang'i. And George Natembeya and the group believes very strongly that they have the numbers. They're so sure of winning. But they also know that winning is not easy. You can win, but never declared the president of the Republic of Kenya, because it has happened to Raila Odinga before. The truth of the matter is that if you are to look at all other factors, numbers, if you are to add the Kikuyu nation, the Kamba nation, you add the Kisii, and the people who are dissatisfied with William Ruto's government, numbers favor this team. Again, if you look at other factors, for example, the narrative. What narrative do you think William Ruto can use, which he never used before? The hustler narrative failed. I mean, what can Ruto use to convince Kenyans? And you look at even the performance of the government so far. Unless a miracle is going to happen, I highly doubt if Kenyans will give William Ruto clean bill of health as far as the state of the economy is concerned. Right now, for example, everything is not working. The funding model is not working. For the first time, the free primary education is gone. You know, there's nothing really he can promise Kenyans, but he's banking on the support of Raila Amolo Odinga. And number two, these guys believe, and I also believe so, that William Ruto might not have any other option. But the only option remaining for him is to try and rig. And that's why someone like Oscar Sudi was very clear at some point that they will not just wait and see things happen. They'll ensure that William Ruto is declared the president.
Mami, ogas, mama yokinye, wani ole nengiriaje kurgede. Hawa watu wanatuambia ati William Ruto must go. Tunataka tuambie hawa, mtupatie nafasi. Tuongee 2027. Na mujipange, wacha kuongea tu hapo kwa mtandao. Oh, Ruto must go. Oh, sijui Ruto anachoma amekufa kwa sanduku. Oh, sijui nini. Kwanza wewe mwenye ulichona William Ruto na mwenye ulisponsor kuchora William Ruto, utakufa mbele ya William Ruto na utakufa mbele yetu sisi wote. Wewe ndio utatangulia kwa hiyo kaburi. Yeah. Wewe utatangulia kwa kaburi. Kwa sababu kama wewe ni mtoto wangu anachora mzazi mwingine. Si kama amenichora mimi mwenyewe. Wewe mtoto wako ukimruhusu aandike vitu mabaya kwa Facebook ama achore vitu kama hizo, ni kwanza ameanza na wewe mzazi mwenye hiyo boma. Ameanza na wewe kwanza. Ni wewe ameua, sio mtu mwingine. So tunataka tuambia watu vitisho baridi. Mtafute watu wengine wa kutisha. Sisi wengine ni asolas. Huyu William Ruto ni mtoto ya mtu tu, alikuwa anauza kuku nini. Mimi mwingine alikuwa na makanga, mwingine hapo alikuwa anafanya nini. So tafuteni watu wa kutisha. Watu wa kutisha hawako sahihi area. Mungoje hapo mbele ndio mpata watu wa kutisha. Hiyo maneno ya kusema sijui must go, hakuna kwenye tunaenda. Na msikie vizuri. Na nataka nirudie hapa. Hii Kenya hakuna rais ameenda kwa miaka 5. Kwani huyu ndiye atakuwa wa kwanza? Kama tunafanya nini? Kama tumelala wapi? Kama nini imefanyika? Kwani hii Kenya ni yenu? Mjue William Ruto aende mahali. Makawagas. Mtakana vijata wale.
Oh, let me ask you this question. Do you think there is anything which can stop William Ruto from trying to rig the 2027 presidential elections? Because based even on the appointments of the IBC commissioners, they are linked. You can clearly see the face of William Ruto, the face of Raila Odinga in those nominations. Which begs the question, can those Kenyans really deliver free and fair elections in 2027? Swala nyeti. So, rigging is an option, and they know that's something which William Ruto might try, and that's why they're issuing that warning. And number 3, and this is why Rigathi Gachagua talked about it, Kalonzo has talked about it, now Natembeya is talking about it, and hopefully they'll make it an agenda, is that they want to instill kind of confidence in their supporters. Yeah, they want to try and instill some confidence that, we are prepared. I remember the other day, Kalonzo was telling his supporters how he's not Raila Odinga, that, Raila won, his election was stolen. He won again, rigged. But for him, he was assuring his supporters that nobody will attempt to rig his votes. And I've been thinking, between Kalonzo Musyoka and Raila Odinga, is it easy to rig Raila Odinga's votes and not Kalonzo Musyoka's votes? I don't, because Raila Odinga is the only politician who, for a long time, I believe up to now, enjoys national support. And of course, Raila Odinga has also fanatical following. People who can do whatever he tells them to do. People who can risk their lives. I doubt if there's anybody. Me, I've operated with Kalonzo or Raila. I've attended rallies with them. I remember at some point there was this very strong wind which found us in the middle of Narok. And so everybody guarded Raila. Kalonzo was just roaming around there. So I doubt. But they want to instill that confidence on their supporters that, nobody will attempt and succeed in rigging our elections. Ladies and gentlemen, before I give you my 4th point, which is also very important, allow me to take this opportunity to introduce you guys to Kile Kitabu. And the best thing you can do is to go to your Play Store right now, type Kile Kitabu, download Kile Kitabu, install it on your phone, and then see how it's going to help you manage and track your data. Ladies and gentlemen, there's the youth factor in 2027, which is the Gen Zs. Last year, on the 25th day of June, the young people of the Republic of Kenya stopped William Ruto from implementing the finance bill. They invaded parliament successfully. That move by the Gen Zs changed the politics of the Republic of Kenya completely. As we speak, any serious political player must figure out how to deal with the Gen Z factor. Because these are young people who have completed their secondary schools, they've gone through universities or colleges, they don't have jobs, their parents have retired, they have nowhere to go. So you find a parent at home with highly educated kids, let's say 5 of them, graduates, none of them is working. Then you see a member of parliament going to Machakos and just donating 5 million. Like that, another one. Then another one is convincing you that they were able to, through friends, to contribute 45 million Kenya shillings. So they believe, because they're educated, that the sources of those money are actually their resources. You can't convince them otherwise, because they know that a member of parliament elected cannot make such kind of money within a very short time. So these guys believe strongly that the leaders are not serving their interest. So they are trying to implement some changes. So these young people can be triggered to stop any rigging. So they'll want their votes to count for the first time. And these are the people, in my view, Natembeya and Rigathi Gachagua are targeting. And lastly, I'm also convinced that the warning are not meant for any other person. They are directed at IEBC. That if you joke with the next election, it's not going to be business as usual. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what you think. That's my take. Until next time, this is Lee McQueen. Bye-bye.